This is Pat Salter with the Doctor Weighs In, and we're at the closing hours of Health 2.0 at the Santa Clara Convention Center. But I'm really, really lucky that Stina Fate, who's an ophthalmologist, a serial entrepreneur, and the CEO of Althea. Did I say it right?
Actually, I'm the executive vice president of Althea and a really co-founder of Althea. I'm not the CEO.
Oh, no, we don't have the CEO. He's just an EVP. Okay, only an EVP. And we're going to have a really fun talk because what Althea is they've developed a 3D Google Glass, only it's not really a Google Glass. Tell us what you're up to.
Yes, actually, it's not a Google Glass. We're doing a lot more. We have a lot more feature than a Google Glass. And number one main difference is we use our two eyes. And Google Glass only use one of our eye. And that's because we provide 3D augmented reality. And it's not only 3D augmented reality, but it's interactive augmented reality. And that's the other difference. We basically can reach and interact with the content which is floating in front of you in the space. And that's very, very unique.
So you're not going to drive with these?
Actually, in the future, probably.
And since we're at a healthcare conference, can you tell me when you got involved in designing and developing these glasses, what kind of healthcare applications did you have in mind?
Actually, again, the company mind was, let's start by solving problem instead of building a cool 3D glass and then realizing who's going to buy it, who's going to use it. And being a doctor, I had so many ideas, I had so many problems. I wish I had that when I was a med student. I wish I had that when I started to do my training in surgery. And now it's going to be available.
And so could I use it, let's go back to the medical school idea. Can I actually use it if I was a medical school or a resident to hone surgical skills, or is it really not, is that not a use?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. You can start by very simple application like accessing any existing Android data or application, and there are tons of them. Then you can go to 3D more complex application, and there are companies building and developing that, but they don't have the right tool to accessing that. They don't have the right intuitive 3D tool to access, view, and actually interact with this content. You can absolutely use that. They are very comfortable. You can use them, wear them for many hours, which is very unique. They are not going to provide you any headache. They are not going to give you any eye fatigue, and we are very proud. I'm very proud of that because I designed it. But we are really, these are very important feature that you have to provide to the user. Otherwise, it's going to be another heads-up display on the shelf, nice to have, but nobody going to use.
Right. So why don't we see them? Why don't you show us what they look like?
This is a dev kit. That's why I said it. And has two optics.
Okay.
They're transparent. That means when I'm going to wear them, actually I can keep my glasses, and you can go up on top of your glasses. You have a transparent optic. That means I can see the word. I can see you very well.
So you can see me, you can look at me and I look normal.
Absolutely. You look perfect.
As normal as I
Of course, you look perfect. Now, the other aspect is, while I'm wearing them, since I see the real world, I can also see on top of the real world a floating content. And how I'm going to reach that, as you mentioned, I'm not going to touch my glass. I'm going to touch the content. And where is the content? It's here. I'm clicking and opening an application. I can swipe the application. I can zoom the application. If it's a 3D object, I can turn the image. Very intuitively, exactly if I had a floating heart, a real heart in my hand. If you want to see the other view, you just turn it. And since we have camera, I can share my viewpoint with you. We are a surgeon.
If I have the glasses on, I can see what you're seeing.
Oh, or if you have a computer sitting in another hospital, in another office, the other side of the planet, and you want to share, I want your advice, you're going to see what I'm seeing. That's very, very unique. While I'm doing my operation, and as you see, the whole visual field down is open, which is I can do my procedure. I can see the content. I don't have to change anything. Don't have to remove the whole optics. No, it's very comfortable. I can see you. I do my procedure. I'm going to share with you what I'm doing. And you can tell me, don't do that. This is not the right thing to do, or this is perfect.
Are these available now? Do you have customers now? Do you have clinical sites that are using them? And do you have anything that you can say about the utility from the point of view of your customers if you have them?
Yes, actually, we, as I mentioned, this is very important for us. We don't want only do a technology looking for solution. What we have right now is a dev kit. It's available. We really select the partner. We really go after enterprise and professional application, including healthcare and medical application. We have ongoing pilot. Unfortunately, I cannot share them with you, but we have ongoing pilot. And the product would be ready on the market middle of next year. It's not something in 5 years. It's not a dream in 5 or 6 years. It's middle of next year. We will have our first product for enterprise application, professional application on the market.
And so I think we'll close by just having you say a word. You mentioned that you're looking for enterprise developers, but is this a completely open API where, like with Google Glass, people come in and are developing applications for it, or are you being more selective, or is it some combination of the two?
Absolutely. It's open. We have API SDK available to the developer. They can use that. It's compatible, that I mentioned, to Android. Any developer can use it. It's extremely well-designed SDK by our team, of course, the API, and they can use it, and it's available to select it.
Well, thank you very much. I think I can say that we've seen the future, and it's next year, middle of next year. That's fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Tonight on 17 News at 5, a local surgeon is using Google Glass to care for his patients and help other doctors. 17's Paul Harris examines how the advanced science is used during delicate surgery. The Google Glass Doctor, tonight on 17 News at 5.
It is one of the hottest tech gadgets around, and it's not even on store shelves yet. I'm talking about the Google Glass. The product made headlines last month when, for just one day, Google put the glasses on sale for $1,500 a pop. 17's Paul Harris joins us with details of how a local doctor saw away these high-tech specs could help his practice and his patients.
Bakersfield plastic surgeon Dr. Darshan Shah uses Google Glass in his operations. He says the device allows him to communicate with colleagues and troubleshoot problems in seconds, time that could be critical to his patients.
Okay, Glass, record a video.
You may have seen the promotional videos for the device called Google Glass. A few have been released to thrill seekers, pilots, or chefs. A Fresno man uses his device to go grocery shopping.
Find a recipe for strawberry dessert.
The device is worn like traditional glasses. Its functions are activated by either looking up, tapping the side of the rims, or by a voice command.
Record a video!
For Bakersfield plastic surgeon Dr. Darshan Shah, the hands-free device helps him in his practice.
And my main reason for getting the Google Glass was to see if I could have a collaborative environment in the operating room, which we normally don't have.
In real time, Dr. Shah can communicate with a colleague in Malibu or his chief nurse across the office to troubleshoot a problem.
Now I can still keep operating, not looking at the commands until I'm ready. Okay, Glass, video conference Nancy Solorio.
Which frees her up as well.
Before Google Glass, I think most of us got in the habit of kind of stopping what we're doing to have to go communicate, or picking up our phone to communicate. With Google Glass, it's very seamless. He just buzzes right in, we talk, I can move on to the very next task.
Google Glass is unique in allowing you to broadcast what you are seeing in real time, but that has some privacy advocates worried.
If you terrify people that anything that happens outside of their bedroom could be part of the permanent record of human history, you're going to really change how a lot of us live.
So privacy concerns was something that we always talk about. We want to make sure that the patient knows that whatever we're seeing in the Google Glass is only being seen by specific colleagues and only in specific situations. We also never refer to the patients by name. We never show the patient's identifying information or face.
Dr. Shah thinks Google Glass may become as commonplace in a surgeon tool set as a scalpel one day.
I mean, do you consider yourself a pioneer in this aspect, though?
I mean, I hope so. I feel like Google is the real pioneer, and I'm just utilizing their tools.
Dr. Shah is developing an app for Google Glass that will be geared more to medical personnel. He hopes to launch it in 2015. Paul Harris, 17 News.
Wow, I think I'm a ways away from Google Glass.
I know, I still don't get it.
Really just communicate with that PC back there.